lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life is lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sim Racing Media Network. We are live here from Iowa Speedway for the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series, presented to you by the Extreme Scoring. Well, I don't know if we have an exact way to say that, but it comes from the same family that we bring. That also brings to you the Rick Motec Cup Series that is broadcasted with us live on SRM on Tuesday nights. But Monday night starts off the week with the ARCA cars, so we get a little old school Cup style action here at a short track that, well, I'll be honest, it's not one of my favorites. So I can definitely say I am happy to be up in the booth and not down there on the racetrack. We got a couple minutes left here in qualifying before we get started here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pull up our race info for today. Once again, the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series, race number 2 of the season. Last week we had some fantastic racing over at Atlanta. Right now, here we are. We're going to be heading to... Oh, hold on just a moment, everybody. Give me just one moment, everybody. Let me go ahead and get something. Looks like my mouse has maybe stopped working. Sorry about that. We might deal with a couple of technical issues today. Always seems to be my luck whenever I'm broadcasting one of Ed's leagues. But, you know, we'll figure something else out here. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. Just trying to get some couple things trying to figure it out here for our last minute. As I said, you know, we're here at Iowa Speedway. We have an overall race temp, or My goodness, if I can speak today, it's Monday. My goodness, long day at work. We have an overall ambient temperature of 65 degrees. Nice, cool evening. I'd wish it was a little bit like that, but it's 75 here in Florida, so I can't complain too much. 63% humidity, partly cloudy, only 1 miles per hour wind, so you can be, the minimum of what iRacing will allow. Gives us a nice, cool track temp of 80 or 66 degrees, which means we're gonna have a ton of grip on a track that has basically no grip. So I think the admins decided to play a little nice with these drivers and give them an opportunity. So, all right. So here we are gonna get in, and you see even the altitude here, 892 feet, a lot more than you get here even in our Orlando, over in Newton, Iowa. So I'll be honest, don't know where it is, haven't been there, and well, we'll have to see. I will probably be a fun track to go to. I do know that the racing here is generally pretty good, but my goodness, as a driver, this place just does not suit my style whatsoever. But nonetheless, here we are, and looks like these guys are just finishing up qualifying. Got about maybe 2 minutes, give or take, left. So we'll give all of them the opportunity to go ahead and finish up some of their qualifying laps for our race tonight. Actually, we're going to go ahead and be sure to check out extremescoring.com, who does all, of course, the scoring for this league here. Does a great job, and I mean, you get to just kind of keep up with everything. They have a ton of stuff. I mean, they have their own paint set, not trading paints that you would typically use for iRacing. So it's something very out there, and this is available for people to go ahead and purchase and get up on there. So definitely recommend when you get an opportunity. Fun league that we get to broadcast. I'm excited to bring the ARCA League, did the truck league for Ed and these guys about some time earlier this year, late last year, I can't remember. But we're just about 5 seconds away as we're getting ready to complete this. We have 155 laps tonight, which may seem like a lot, but when you're getting around a 3/4 mile track at about 25 seconds a lap, the laps will count down, and they will count down very quickly. Right now, before we go ahead and pull that up, of course, last week's hold on just a moment. Oh, actually, it looks like qualifying's actually all set here. All right. Nonetheless, last week at Atlanta, remember Jeremy Horn was the one to come home with the victory in that number 81 car. Hunter Collier in second, and our current pole sitter, Justin Anasagok, I'm going to say it correctly at one point, looks like he's going to be our pole sitter for tonight. So we're going to go ahead and bring him in, actually. So hang on just a moment, everybody. If I can find them here. They're always the furthest ones down I'm trying to look for. Alright, let's try this again. There we go. Justin, this is Angel here in the SRM broadcast booth. Buddy, you got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think I finally got your last name correct. Hopefully you didn't watch too much of last week's broadcast to see me butcher that many times.
Don't worry, everybody does.
Well, I said I'm going to have to get it right eventually. You finished third last week. You're going to start pole for tonight's race here at Iowa. Justin, what's this race going to hold for us? Kind of give some insight to the fans out there watching.
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't even know what track we were going to until I joined the practice. So it's going to be loose here at the start, but it should get better as we go. So we should have a good race on our hands tonight.
Man, well, we appreciate it. Congratulations on your pole position, that number 88 Exalta Toyota Camry. That's one that I'm probably not going to remember to say every once in a while. But good luck tonight, Justin, and we'll see if we're talking to you by the end of this one.
Thank you.
All right, so let me make sure I get him back in his right team here. All right, I'm going to really hope he is part of Transcendent Motorsports, that I didn't just put him on a random team. Did I get a chance here very quickly? You see these guys getting ready to go green. As mentioned, Justin Anasagok going to be your pole sitter. Sean Corcoran, I think. Sean, I hope you'll get that right next time. And second, GT Hawkins in third. James Shane Wolf in fourth. And Alexander Brown going to round out your top five. Michael Thwaites, a name that I haven't got to mention here in a while, going to be there in the fifth or sixth position. Right now, you see that pace car. Lights are off now. Actually, let's have a quick opportunity, maybe go over qualifying for everybody here very briefly. As I said, Michael Thwaites there in 6th. Clayton Hack and Michael Larch going to take up row number 4. Row 5 belongs to Greg Carr and Wesley Jeanette. Row number 6 to Adam Capps, Jeremy Horn, last week's winner. Randy Kruder, Brian Dixon for row 7. Row 8 belongs to Rick Christensen and Dean Gagliano. Ed Morrisiner, Bobby Doyen in row number 8. Corey Darr and William Hartman going to round out our field here. 20 cars. It looks like we have 21 on the start, or 19, sorry, on the starting grid. Notable, we don't have Ed Morris. We have Ed Morris Sr., not Ed Morris racing tonight, his typical number 7. Nonetheless, getting ready to go green flag racing here. You see the pace lights are off. Let's go ahead and make sure we change this to laps and not time. Here we go. Green flag getting ready to go. Here we are, green flag racing here from the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series at Iowa Speedway. Justin Anasagok with a fantastic start to the race. He's going to easily clear for first. Here we got three-way now for third between Shane Wuth, Brown, and Sean. They're going to clear it out. It looks like the 43, Sean, is in the wall. Not sure what's happening. He is suffering, trying to get that outside moving, but from here on out, it is just nothing but a mess. First was going to be clear, but here comes GT Hawkins with a big run. He's going to take the lead quickly here from that number 88. You're going to wonder if the 88 may be thinking, oh, and there goes. You see that one car, James Shane Wolf. What a save there off of turn number 2. Still loose here into turn number 3. He's going to upset those tires. Going to have to give it a couple of laps. He's going to try to slide in here in front of the 22. And about 150 laps, he slides right in front of him. But right now, with another 150 something to go, you see he's just going to let Clayton Hack go. As Clayton just put down the fastest lap so far of the race at 23:62. Just about 3/100ths quicker, as man, James is just sideways off of these turns. But our post sitter Justin did mention these guys are going to be loose to start. So right now, I see the 43 trying to make up some of his spots. Started in 2nd, all the way down to 6 already. That time around, Clayton Hack once again the fastest car on the racetrack at 23:58. 2/10 quicker than Justin Anasagok in front of him, and a 10th quicker than our leader, GT Hawkins. So go down the rest of the field here. You see the 2 looking on the inside, maybe the 25 backs off a little bit. You got the 80 of Randy Kruder behind him. The 81, last week's winner, Jeremy Horn, going to slide right in front of the 55 of Alex Capps. And as you see the rest of the field going through here, we do hope that if you're watching with us live on YouTube, for one, thank you very much. We always appreciate everybody jumping in. Yes, Trey. Oh, we gotta love it. Yes, it's pronounced Anasagok. We're gonna have to go do this every single week. I hope you're here every week to watch, just to remind me. But as I said, if you are watching with us, thank you, of course, as always. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, whatever you got to do to remember us. Get that YouTube algorithm working. Get your friends, family watching us. The more people watching us means the more people watching your friends and your family racing out here. And see a car like the 14 GT Hawkins, blank car. We need to get this guy a sponsor on here. And right now, running up here in the 1st position after qualifying 3rd. I'm saying he's probably looking pretty good in that sense. Did not get to race. Finished 6th last week at Atlanta. So far, a pretty good start to the season for that number 14 of GT Hawkins. Got to see success on the super speedway, success on a short track, and right now it's Justin Anasagok and Clayton Hack currently trying to track him down. What the beauty of Iowa, and it's hard for me to say that again because of my distaste for this track, is the fact that you can run the bottom, you can run the middle. Some guys really figure out the outside, and actually this ARCA car is actually kind of fun around this track. I can tell you that much. I did get to race in a league here with the Hammer Down Racing League with Chris Pendle, running that one some time ago in the ARCAs that they did. And I kind of enjoyed Iowa. I still don't want to know if I fully admit it, but it was a fun race. So I think this guy's maybe having a little bit of fun here. You see the 74 and the 12 get very close. Wesley Jeanette and Michael Thwaites. Wow, Thwaites is just going to slide up the racetrack there. I don't know if he really was just trying to slide in there or his car did not give him an option. As you see these guys continue side by side right behind here. Michael Larch has got the 18 of Dean Gagliano on his inside. I think the 18 is going to slide in front of him. Maybe the 2 lets him by. Always hard to tell here. If you haven't been with us for a while, you're going to see these ARCA cars are actually been updated. A little bit of a flatter front end. You see almost right there as we went to the side view, the 33 of Brian Dixon. Good looking car there. I know a little bit of a tribute to a certain someone, as a Jeff Gordon fan. Can't mention too much, but all in all, these cars were updated, and I wonder. I have not had an opportunity myself to race in them since this update, but you wonder how does it has it affected these guys, and how does if these guys were confident coming in here, maybe this is a good track. The car has changed quite a bit. How is that gonna be? You see with the next gens every week, almost it feels like it's a different car, so it's really hard to get a grasp on how that race is going. So currently right now on lap 12 of the 155 event, as you see James Shaneworth, it looks like he's finally got the rear tires hooked to the racetrack, as he's going to go to the inside of Clayton Hack, who was putting down some of the fastest laps earlier. I don't know if he's already sliding back. Maybe he was just trying to use his fresh tires to get him from 7th to 3rd and maybe hang on to a top 5 and then kind of work his way from there. You have to wonder, maybe some of these drivers even expected a bit of maybe a caution early on, considering how loose these cars were and how loose the cold tires can be. But so far, everybody looking like they're hanging on pretty well. That time around, Michael Larch back there in the 13th position in traffic just drove his fastest lap of the day. So a lot of these guys, not everybody has the time to put into the practice as much as other people do. So you see some guys who kind of as the race goes on, you see them improving. And those are the guys you see their fastest laps later in the race, as they're able to really get a handle for the racetrack and what their cars have for them in tonight's race. You see the 19 right now with Rick Christensen to the inside of that 80 car. It's going to say to the inside of the 18 of Dean Gagliano. I hadn't quite updated there just a moment. As looks like the 18 should clear him. Now it'll be a side-by-side battle for 13th between Rick Christensen and Michael Larch. Christensen on the move. Michael 6 spots back. You see the 18 and 19 side-by-side. That's going to be very close to 2. He's just going to have to sit behind them. If he plays this patiently, can really work out for him. Save his tires where he's at. As you see that 81, I believe, at the bottom. Wow, he threw a big dive to the bottom, but that 33 is going to stay to his outside. He's not going to be able to make that dive bomb move. Move back to the front right now. GT Hawkins still your leader here after taking the lead pretty early on in this race from your pole sitter of Justin Anasagok. And this happened pretty early on. Sometime, I think it was about lap, I was probably thinking like 5 or 6. And he's kind of led from there. And at this point in time, I mean, he's got himself about an 8.5 tenths of a second lead over Justin. And I know it's still early, but that last time around, he was still a 10th faster. So not sure if maybe Justin is saving his stuff for as long as he can. Wow, you're going to see them right up against the wall there off of turn 4. It is so slick here off of turn 4. It's unreal. So you're really going to see this guy slipping and sliding around, trying to hang on. And that's going to be the fun part. You see James Shaneworth. You have to wonder what his right rear tire feels like. If it's not wore out now, it's going to be maybe a little bit more than some of these other guys. We'll have to jump in at one point and ask him, because boy, was this car sideways for those first couple laps. And even there, you see he looks comfortable, but that car is absolutely not. We're going to go ahead and jump actually on board, one of my favorite views. And you can see the driver's hands working. This is lap 19 already overrun. You'll see some guys having a couple of connection issues right there. Just a little bit of a blink, nothing crazy. What I actually really like about this is, except for right there, you see how loose it got. So you don't hear too much tires scrubbing here. Oh, maybe a little bit more in that turn right there. Just trying to get a glimpse there of Justin, and boy, is that car just extremely loose. Let's go ahead and jump on board maybe with your leader, and what does fresh tires maybe look like, and how does his car feeling as you see that yank to the right as he's just trying to hang on to it there off of turn 4. Track is also very bumpy. You're going to see, especially actually in 1 and 2 on the outside. You see 3 and 4 on the outside work quite a bit. Maybe as the run goes on, as the evening goes on. But that outside in 1 and 2, there's a really bad bump that if you hit it wrong, it's going to mess up your entire lap. There's a lot of speed to be gained, but oh my goodness, can it just be dangerous for your car. See the top right there, we're just going ahead and updated some of the fastest times. We're actually going to go ahead and back to the intervals here. So Anasagok 1.2 seconds behind your leader GT Hawkins. James Shaneworth holds on to 3rd. Sean Corcoran going to be in 4th. Hopefully he's not going to keep butchering that one. Clayton Hack in 5th. Wesley Jeanette in 6th. Michael Thwaites and Or I'm sorry, Clayton Hacks is in 5th, but man, we've got 4 cars all under a blanket right now for that 5th spot, including Wesley Jeanette, Michael Thwaites, and Alexander Brown. As, oh, they're going to be 3 wide here off of turn 2. Oh, the respect between these drivers is unreal. They're going to stay 3 wide. The 74 says, you know what, go ahead. You can have this one if you want it so bad. For Michael Thwaites, as he's going to take a 2-for-1 special there in turns 3 and 4 and collect the 22 and the 74. His positions moving him from the 7th to the 5th spot. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and looks like we've finally got some things figured out here. Hang on tight for me, everybody. What we're going to go ahead and do is lap 25. Let's go ahead and give everybody our first opportunity for a turn it up session. So hang on tight, everybody. And as I always say, if you're listening in on some headphones, you want to be careful. It will get loud. All right, we're gonna jump back in here. Still on view here with the driver of the 14 GT Hawkins from Columbus, Ohio. I love this this view here. We really get to see the banking. While it doesn't seem like much, I mean, it actually really isn't much. So you kind of see the camera doesn't get to really move as much. Again, this camera stays in one place here on the roll bar. And as the car rotates into the turn with the banking, the camera will stay straight, and you see how much banking there truly is. Track like Iowa doesn't really have a ton of banking, so you can see that it really is tough on these right front tires for some of these drivers. And then here we are. We're going to go ahead and pull right back out of this view, even though it's one of my favorite views to see of the night. On lap 35 here, we're going to go ahead and sometime around lap maybe 45, probably 45-ish, we'll go through one more rundown of the field. At the moment right now, though, Justin Anasagok is now 2.5 seconds behind your race leader of GT Hawkins. Now, so everybody understands, these drivers have 4 total tire sets for tonight's race. It averages about 38 to 39 laps a set of tires, so Really from there, it's going to be how long do you get these green flag runs for. That last time around, Anasaga cut off almost 2.5 tenths of a second there on GT Hawkins. So we'll have to, I'm sorry, 2.5 tenths of a second. My goodness, I made that sound a lot more than it was. About 2.5 tenths of a second as he tries to catch your leader. That last time around, not much quicker, only about 2/100, so that's not going to be enough to catch him. You see the 45 of Corey Dar. He's gone 1 lap down here. Jeremy Horn, last week's winner, guys, currently really, really mired back in traffic. Back here in the 18th position. Started in 12th. Not sure exactly what may or may not happen. We could try to find what all went on there for Jeremy Horn. But nonetheless, right now, he's just trying to recover. He's got that win from last week. He's on the outside now of Bobby Doyen. Edmore Sr. running there in front of them. And then Dean Gagliano right on top of that. For kind of to understand, Jeremy Horn now, he's 16 seconds, just under 16 seconds behind the leader, but that's not really far as you see him in the middle of 3 and 4, and the leader here coming off 2. So about halfway across the track, especially with how much, I mean, these drivers are running about a second or so slower now as we hit almost the 40 lap mark. So, and looks like Matt finally got some things figured out here. We're gonna get him here into the booth. Matt, how are we doing today?
I am doing fantastic now that we're actually able to get in the right race booth. Sorry about that. It was a permission issue. I was knocking on the back door trying to get you, and I couldn't see you because I didn't have the permissions. But we're here. We're in the booth. Race going so far. Catch me up to speed.
Well, Matt, lap 40 here. We've gone 40 green flag laps. I've already knocked on some wood, so we're not even going to discuss that from there. So far, we've had some decent overall racing. Everybody kind of spread out here at a track like Iowa. But because it's lap 40, you're joining us here. We're going to go ahead and give a quick little driver rundown for everybody. Once again, if you are joining us in our YouTube, please be sure to give us that like, share, subscribe, whatever you got to do to get us out there watching for your friends and family, not just for us here, like I said, for your friends and family, and those watching, the sponsors that keep supporting everybody here. So currently right now, GT Hawkins, as mentioned here in first, Justin Anasagak in second. Not sure what happened. The gap was a lot closer and seemed to have just completely fallen off. So I think maybe Justin, having used up his tires, your pole sitter. James Shaneworth here in third. Michael Thwaites up to fourth. Alexander Brown from Barrie, Ontario, Canada, currently running in that fifth position. Sean Corcoran in sixth. Greg Cars made his way up to the 7th position after having started in 9th. 8th place belongs to Wesley Jeanette from Dixon, Tennessee. Michael Larch from Mantua, Ohio. Hope I said that right. Married and father of 2 awesome kids. Currently running in that number 9 position. And then Adam Capps, and we'll say at the time of the lap, Adam Capps had the 10th position, but Randy Kruder will take 10th away from him. He's from Johnstown, Ohio, and I'll let you take the rest here, Matt.
Yeah, let's round out the rest of the 20 drivers that are currently in contention tonight. Again, as you said, just as you were saying the name, the 55 of Adam Capps, he's currently residing in the 11th position. 12th position belongs to the Chevrolet of Ricky Christensen. 14th, Brian Dixon. 15th, Bobby Doyen. I hope I said that correctly. The 16th spot currently right now occupied by Edward Morris Sr. 17th, Jeremy Horn. 18th, Dean Gagliano. Gagliano, thankfully. And then, 19th, you got Corey Dar. And then certainly last, but 19th, currently residing in 20th position, that is William Hartman. That's currently a run down through the field as they run right now.
All right, we're going to go ahead and jump back up to the leader here. GT Hawkins once again putting down some of the fast laps. That last time around was 2/10 quicker than Justin Adesagak. So I don't know what GT Hawkins did. He went out there, grabbed the lead early, and has not looked back from there. See, I thought for a while he might be burning up his tires, but man, he's still pulling away here. He's got almost a 5-second lead now over our pole sitter.
Well, see, that's just it. He thinks he's in a GT car right now, and you would certainly think that looking at that differential at a 14.88, almost a 15-second differential, and at a track like Iowa, that is huge. I guarantee you some of these guys probably in the field as they made their way, stage one, hey, it's nighttime's always the right time. Maybe you've burned off that right rear tire just a little bit. I know here at Iowa, that track's pretty abrasive. And it's hard on tires to begin with, especially when you're trying to carve and cut your way through the field towards the front.
Oh, without a doubt. Right now, we're looking about a second at minimum slower. That last time around, your leader, Hawkins, was just under a second slower than his quickest lap. But when you compare it to second place, who is just diving out here into turn number 1, he was about 1.4 seconds behind his fastest lap. So a big drop-off for Justin compared to his counterpart here in the first position. We'll try to find a battle right now. It does look like James Shane Wolf just had to let Alexander Brown go by. You saw James had made his way to the third position. Now down to fifth as Michael Thwaites takes over your third position. He was not here last week, and he's back up. Making his way through the field. Right now, our biggest mover of the race does belong to Rick Christensen. He started the race in the 15th position, now up to 11th, and tracking down Randy Cruder for 10th.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's putting down some good lap times, so great tire management. That heads up to that driver tonight. Certainly, this is going to be a race of comers and goers, especially as this track goes through its transitions over the course of the night. Look for that outside line to come into place, especially just like it is right now as these laps absolutely cheese grater those tires to death. What do we got in store for pit stop right now? What are we looking at as far as fuel run and tire?
You couldn't have said it at a perfect time. Michael Thwaites is going to make his way down pit lane. James Shane Wolf had actually made his way onto pit lane the lap before. Oh, look at that. I could just notice that they updated these to have the general tires on them. They don't have the Goodyear Eagles anymore.
No, and that's actually a change that transpired in an iRacing update. I want to say probably 4 or 5 months ago now. I happen to run this car frequently, so I've been looking at the general nameplate on those tires for a while.
I haven't raced this car in quite a while. Definitely hasn't been since the update, and I knew how they had updated the car, and I actually just hadn't noticed until we were watching these guys on pit lane that they've got general tires on them. Not a problem at all. I like it. Right now, you see Alexander Brown. He's going to come down pit lane. So GT Hawkins giving up a second or so a lap, but when you have a 7-second lead now, I mean, you can afford to go, honestly, as long as you really want, because you're just going to pass these guys immediately after.
Right. I mean, especially that pulls the stress on the driver way back, so less of a chance making a mistake, getting down to speed, getting out of those brakes, coming down pit road, executing your pit stop. Anytime you can have that type of an...
We got a caution!
And all that is out the window.
Wow, and I think we've only got 7 cars in the lead lap right now. Oh, no, it's James Shane Wolf, I believe.
I was just going to say, the one point in time you don't want to see a caution at a track like this is when you're currently being serviced on pit road. And unfortunately, that's just what transpired. There's another...
the one just got loose off of turn 2. We've seen him get loose multiple times. It's a great job. He could have easily taken out the 5 of Ed Moore Sr. right there. I mean, just a spectacular job on not wrecking, actually. I want to go ahead and jump briefly on board with this. Let's look at the...
Yeah, that car was...
Wow! I thought for sure he would have taken out Ed Morris Sr. in that view right there. What a great job there by Shane Wolf to really avoid that. And now we've got wrong pit lane. Here we go. We got these guys hitting pit lane. GT Hawkins, Justin Anasagok, Sean Corcoran, Greg Carr, Brian Dixon, Bobby Doyen, and Ed Morris Sr. Your 7 drivers left on the lead lap who had yet to pit. Dean Gagliano in the number 18 is your first car 1 lap down, so he'll get the wave around, or he'll get his lap back. Typically not a good thing, but also not the worst thing right now because of the amount of wave arounds you're going to have. He's going to restart still probably right around 7th or 8th.
Yeah, don't panic yet if you're a driver, if you're a crew chief. This won't this once we cycle this out and everyone completes their stops and comes back around and takes position behind the pace car. You're right, it's not going to be as bad as it looks, but certainly something like that to get your heartbeat pumping if you're a driver or a crew chief. When you're down on pit road, the tires are off the car and you're stopped, and the caution flag comes out. That's always going to throw a monkey wrench in your strategy, I would assume, over the course of this run tonight.
Yeah, I think your best bet is caution coming out right as you hit pit lanes. I think you're still able to service as long as you don't go a lap down. So I think you're kind of close.
As long as you are scored crossing that commitment cone, you should be able to go down pit road without receiving a pit road entry violation, complete service on that car, and exit the racetrack as if it was a green flag stop.
I only had Dean Gagliano was a lap down, but had he not pit yet? He's taking 4 tires now. We'll have to see about. Oh, actually, it looks like we're showing. We'll have to see how these guys all filter back out here.
Yeah, it may take a couple seconds for the scoring to catch up with this one. Sometimes that's just how it unfolds. That's racing.
And we had a lot of these guys had pit quite a while ago. I mean, some guys coming in. We know we got a 5 or 6 lap difference. Man, that's all it takes. That's all it takes to be that much slower. I mean, we were almost 2 seconds slower for some of these guys on their on this long green flag run.
Yeah, and that was indicative of the differential. I mean, just alone between GT Hawkins and the second place runner, I mean, there was about 19 seconds of real estate on the racetrack. And at 50 miles an hour, that's quite a bit.
Oh, well, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think we're going to go ahead and bring in this number 1 car of James Shainwolf. We've seen him sideways a couple times today, and this time he'll bring out the first caution of the day. So we'll see if he's available. James, this is Angel and Matt here in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us, buddy? You busy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Perfect. I don't want to mess up any strategy you got to figure out here. Just want to make sure that you're good to go.
I hope so, man. Hopefully we can find some speed. Missing a little bit here, but hopefully we can get our stuff together and try and make a run at these boys.
Man, are these cars this loose, or are you just got a lead foot, man? You are just sideways off of some of these corners, especially at the start of that early run. I'm surprised you able to, you had as good of a car as you did at the end of the run with how much you slid that right rear.
That's actually my that's my driving style, man. I really like driving cars off the right rear tire, and it seems to help me in long runs, believe it or not. While everybody else is wearing out the right front, I'm sliding the right rear, so it keeps the turn in the car a little bit better, I think, personally. It's just the way I drive these things.
Yeah, he's an old school wheel man. He wants that thing stepping out. He likes fast.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, the looser the better for me, man. I love setting these cars out.
Man, James, well, you guys look like you're having a blast. I mean, it took 55 laps or so to have the first caution. Even then, it was simply getting loose on cold tires under a car with, old tires, and just kind of a bad place at the bad time there. Oh, yeah. We're green. Are we green?
Yeah,
James,
yeah, y'all are good, man. I'm just hanging out.
Let's send you back. I'm so sorry, James. Good luck tonight.
You're good, guys. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Oh, boy, we just kind of got lost track there. He was giving us some nice little insight, and here we are, Green Flag Racing.
Hey, that's just our dedication to you guys watching the stream, trying to get every angle, every bit of information to you guys. And sometimes that means talking to a driver while the green flag is waving. But like we said, we are back to green flag action out on the racetrack. GT Hawkins wasted no time hitting the John Force button, launching back off to a comfortable lead right now, as we're currently single file for the first 3. However, we do have a spinner on the backstretch. The 55 is around.
I don't have a caution just yet. Looks like he was able to get on the pit lane. We'll see what all happened with the 55. I know we're not quite caught up. Oh, he just gets loose. The 19 does a great job to avoid. Oh, 55, nowhere to go. Smacks into the inside wall. Good call on the no caution. These guys do not have a fast repair, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. This might be the wrong league. I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on just a moment. Let me be 100% sure before I say that. Okay, that's correct. There is no fast repair for tonight's race. I didn't think Ed did those.
You're 100% correct. Great heads up by Race Control, not throwing the caution. You know, it's that cold tired gremlin. You know, before you're out there in a long run, everyone's kind of spaced around the racetrack. You're not under duress, not under pressure. Now this restart, you wad everyone back up again. You got 4 fresh tires underneath you, but when those tires are cold, it's like being on ice skates, and you pick up that throttle just a little bit too soon, and you're off to the races, not pointing in the right direction, I might add, and that's pretty much, I think, what happened to the 55 in that instance.
Well, I mean, and then I kind of mentioned it at the top of the broadcast how, and you mentioned it as soon as you came in, how abrasive this track is, which means it's just there's no grip on this track. The grip does not exist. So these guys are already struggling with those type of conditions right there. And we mentioned cold tires, the track temp, and the ambient temp being as low as they can, basically 65, 66 degrees. So the tires, you know, for those of you guys don't know, and the reason why we kind of mention what the ambient temperature is because the ambient temperature is what the tire temperature is going to be when they get them put on. It's not like they get heated. They're 69 degrees cold.
Yeah, and 69 degrees, that is, you might as well put that car out in the Arctic at 69 degrees, because that's not doing anything to help that race car stick to the racetrack. In fact, I love this racetrack. It's a very articulate, technical racetrack. The drivers that have throttle control, that are comfortable with, like our interview, setting that car out a little bit outside the comfort zone, those typically should be the guys that you're going to see in contention to win the race, the guys that don't fall off as much. One of the things that I love about Iowa.
Well, you know, I'm glad somebody likes it, because this is not a track that I quite enjoy, to be honest with you. Not one. It just doesn't suit me for some reason, no matter what it is, whether it was in the NASCAR heat games, here on iRacing, nothing. This track is no good for me, but I respect it. It is a difficult track. You slip, you slide, and I like it for broadcasting. That's why I said at the top of the broadcast as well. I'm glad I'm in the broadcast booth and not down there racing. But man, the racing is looking pretty good right now between the 14 and the 88 for the lead.
I'll tell you what, it looks like these guys are at the all-you-can-eat buffet already 10 laps in. These guys are on top of that wheel. Their elbows are up. I mean, it's looking like they got 40 laps on these tires already, the way that these cars are bucking and weaving. Everyone's just about stepping out on the racetrack. Heck, the last lap, the 12, basically rode the entire wall going through 3 and 4.
Oh my goodness, that's oh boy. Well, we're gonna go ahead and jump very quickly here to our YouTube chat. Thanks everybody for joining. Mike, thanks for joining us tonight on our YouTube, driving back from a little vacation he got to enjoy with the family, so that's very, very important. Mike does a ton of broadcasting for us here over at the Sim Racing Media Network, so nice to take some time to relax and enjoy himself. We'll see him back with us here in the Extreme, the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series. But Matt stepping in tonight, we do really appreciate it, man. I wish the 3 of us could be in the booth, man. That'd be a lot. That's a lot of fun then.
You know what? They put us 3 in the booth. They might actually have to, add some caution tape around it and have, maybe have to sign a waiver before you come up in there. But that would be a fun booth. And you know what? I want to chime in too on Mike. He does so much for this company, for all these different series under the SRM umbrella. And you know what? He's done a lot for me. As you know, I haven't been on board very long, and he's took me under his wing, and he's done a lot for me. So I just want to give him a shout out, and haven't had an opportunity to thank him. So I'm going to do that at this timing.
Well, and just to put into to perspective more of what Mike does, I mean, he's one of the executives over at SRM, and he hasn't been for long, but my goodness, he has stepped up in such a way that it's like he's been for the entire time. He's just such a natural fit for this group. Matt, if I'm not mistaken, we'll be seeing you in Miami, won't we?
That is correct.
Boy, I'm excited.
We are on the... Yeah, we're going to be drinking the Miami Kool-Aid, that's for certain.
The only person closer to Miami than I am. So, we get the benefit of driving instead of having to pay for plane tickets. So
This is the first time in my life where I wasn't the guy that was traveling the farthest. And I was always jealous of the dude that was like 2 hours out. Finally, one time I get to be this guy. So I'm going to soak it up. I'm with you.
how far of a drive is it for you? About 2 hours?
Not even. It's about an hour and 37 minutes.
Oh, very nice. Not bad at all. Shoot. See, that's about Daytona for me. Daytona's probably maybe about an hour away from me. Maybe less on a good day. New Smyrna Speedway is about a 45-minute drive for me.
Yeah, so Daytona is about a 2 hour and 10-minute drive, and if I'm feeling extra, super speedway-ish, I can do it in about an hour and 50 minutes. But that, not always the smart way to go about doing it, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, you're coming from South Florida, and if you're coming on 95, I imagine from that side, everybody's going 90 there. So it's not like...
I mean, all you got to do is duck behind one of the U-Haul van trucks going 100, and you're set.
You're not wrong, because I can't tell you how many times I have been driving down there, and I'm sitting here going 75, 80, and in the 70 miles per hour highway. I'm in the middle lane. It's nice because it's 8 lanes. You have plenty of space, and people are giving me the dirty look for going 10 over because they're going like 20 and 30 over. It's hilarious.
I mean, let's not forget here, you're in the more aerodynamic vehicle while they're in a box truck with a ton of weight that technically shouldn't even be allowed to go that fast. But you know what's funny? I guarantee you right now, this battle between the 5th and 7th place cars, they're feeling like they're driving a U-Haul right now because their hands are full as these three battle it out for position on the racetrack. The 18 just about howitzed the 12 of Michael Waits. I don't know how he kept it off. That was a masterful piece of driving. But these guys right now, they are probably not happy with the way these cars are driving. They're having to earn every position out there on the racetrack tonight. That's 100% certain from what I'm seeing right now, Angel.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. There are only 5 drivers currently ahead of where they started. Of the 19 we had that were able to start this race. 5 drivers. I think there might be the only 5 that are happy right now. I think everybody else has probably got to just be cursing at somebody right now. Because we're about to hit about 30 laps into this run, give or take, for some of these guys. Michael Thwaites pitted on lap 51, Alexander Brown 53, but we had a caution a couple laps after, so I'm not too necessarily concerned on what everybody's tires is. I think they're going to be generally all the same.
Yeah, this is definitely not, we touched on this earlier, Iowa is definitely not a send it and forget it track. You just can't go out there and hold the loud pedal to the floor and turn the wheel and expect everything to go according to plan. It's a very technical track. The balance of that race car is going to change as that fuel load burns off. As that fuel load burns off, it's going to get lighter in the back, which means those tires in the front are going to wear a little bit heavier. Cheese graters destroying those tires from the moment you go back green. So you have all these variables constantly working against you. And as a driver, you just cannot get into a set rhythm as far as, your braking zones, your point of entry, the corner, your apex off. You have to constantly morph and adapt and change throughout the course of the run. And that's going to bring, though, I really think, your elite drivers in the series to the top tonight. And that could be why we're seeing that on the racetrack right now.
Well, speaking of, we got Drew Trader joining in on us on our YouTube. He typically is racing. He unfortunately had to take a provisional for tonight. So sorry you're missing, Drew. Thanks for joining us. A lot of guys who miss a race tend to not watch the broadcast anyway. So we appreciate you jumping on, rooting on his teammates and Team Transcendent. Adam Cash, we saw him unfortunately involved in that incident earlier, didn't actually bring out a caution, but definitely totaling that car, heavy damage. Jeremy Horn, last week's winner, currently mired back in the 17th position after kind of getting stuck back there with the pit strategy that happened. Justin Anasagok, however, did get the pole and currently running in the second position, doing a little bit of a better job, staying about 1.4 seconds right now behind leader GT Hawkins. So, matter of fact, we're about time to, we're going to do about every 40 to 50 laps, kind of do a little a field rundown. So, we'll give it a couple more laps before we get started on that. Right now, what I'd like to do is jump on board here, as I do usually 30 to 40 laps into the run, and see how these cars are handling. I love these bright blue gloves here. You're going to see these things. Oh, man. You see that thing turning to the right more than to the left. You don't want that all the time.
And you know what? I agree, Angel. I love that gyro cam, sitting inside that car, watching these guys work that race car. It's anything but easy. It's not like you're out on a Sunday drive. I mean, as you said, those gloves are going right and left. And if you were watching the brake pedal and the gas pedal, they would be going simultaneously with those gloves.
As you see right now, he's 1.9, almost 2 seconds behind GT Hawkins. Pull back off of him, or we saw the onboard view for him, currently running in second. Jump on board to our first place car, currently the fastest car on the racetrack. Almost might seem like no surprise, running at 24:43, so about 0.8 off of his quickest lap. And look at his driving. I'd say, man, his car looks more upset than that of Justin's, but he's going faster.
It's like the other gentleman that we interviewed. The more you step this car out and let that back of that race car walk it out, the more in control and the faster lap times some of these guys are. I think it's one of those things you just have to be comfortable with in practice, because you're right. The 43 looks, the 43 and the 80, the 43 looks much better than the 88 on the racetrack. And even the 14, your leader, he is putting up some blistering lap times. But if you watch him around the racetrack, that car is certainly a handful, but he's still able to, maintain the pace.
Right before we jumped on board, or as we jumped on board there with the 33 of Brian Dixon, who is currently tied for your biggest move of the race, up 10 spots to 4th. He had a big moment there off of a turn with James Shanewoolf, who's on currently 1 lap down, trying to get his lap back, was running in the top 5. So, close moment between them. We saw just barely then as we jumped on board. Right now, that 33 of Brian Dixon was one of those guys who stayed out and was able to gain a ton of track position. Currently in the 4th spot with the 69 of Alexander Brown to his outside, dropping him to 5th. That other car next to him, the 2 of Michael Larch, also 1 lap down there. Not currently in the lucky dog position, as he is about 7/10 behind James Shanewoolf for that position. 95 laps so far completed in the 155 race. We've only got 60 laps to go. Almost hard to believe, but these guys are, picking them up and putting them back down.
They are setting a blistering pace here at Iowa, especially in the ARCA car. Totally testament to the caliber and the skill of all these drivers actively competing out on the racetrack tonight. Angel, take a look at the evolution of that line from when we went back to green with those 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods on it to where we are now. These drivers are basically using every inch of that racetrack, sending it high, off the turn. Top line is top of the shelf as you go by the start-finish line, almost right in the wall. He's going to arc it ever so gently down into the corner, right at the line as he hits the apex. And as he starts to pick up the throttle, as that car wants to wash up the racetrack, he is using every single inch while picking up that throttle. A fine line between him successfully executing a good lap and kissing the wall. These guys are on the edge right now.
Well, and as I had mentioned at the top of the broadcast as well, or just a little bit earlier on, these guys, as and you even called it, as the run goes on, you see them move up to the racetrack as these tires wear. It's not necessarily that the outside is faster. It's just that if you're stuck behind somebody who's too much slower on their used up tires, you have to find a way around them, and sometimes it does require going to the outside. But you saw there for a moment the 18 of Dean Gagliano as he was battling with that 67. In turns 1 and 2, the outside, there's a really, really bad bump that if you just hit it the wrong spot is going to upset the race car. You see the 18 this time gets through it just fine, no problem. But when he was side by side with the 67 and had to adjust his line a little bit, you saw him hit that bump and it just completely upset the handling. Turns 3 and 4, you're going to go a little bit lower, but you're still going to run that mid to high lane to get that good run down the front stretch.
You know, you bring up a good point. That bump up there is a real deal. It'll make your car madder than a bull in a china shop, especially with 50 laps on those tires. I've actually hit that bump a couple times, and I'm not going to lie, I was instantly pointing in the wrong direction. So I have a newfound respect for that bump up there. So you bring up a good point, mentioning that to all of our viewers. You certainly don't want to hit that at any point in time of the night, let alone when you're 2 or 3 wide battling for position.
So, I mean, and here we see Michael Thwaites making his down pit lane. Jeremy Horn was the first of the drivers to make his way down pit lane. He was mired a lap down, so he's just trying a little bit different strategy to try to gain as much time as he can here over the final 53 laps, give or take. Michael Thwaites being the first of the lead lap cars to come down pit lane. We know they can make it from here on fuel, because this is about where they started pitting on the first long green flag run that we had. So I still think the later you pit, the better off you're gonna be, just because of how the tires wear. But at the same time, if you pit early and maximize what you can, you know, if you have a caution not long after, you could have used those tires to your advantage had you did pit earlier.
Right, and that's the big strategy call that spotter has to make, that crew chief has to make. You know, and I was wondering who was going to be the first taker, and you would think, like you were touching on, I mean, you give up so much time on old tires. Now that we have drivers coming down on pit road, they're going to feel like they're going to seem like they have 50, 60 more horsepower out there on the racetrack. Imagine, you know, pit road would be a very hot commodity right now as all these other, and there is caution on the racetrack.
Brian
Angel
Dixon, what he used to get that good track position is what's going to cost him that track position. He will be able to stay out and get his wave around, so he should. I don't know if he's more than 1 lap down, but unfortunate there for Brian Dixon timing wise. We'll have to see what all happened here. What brought up this caution?
You know, as a broadcaster, sometimes I hate even mentioning the C word. It's almost like sometimes we will it to happen, and that's certainly not the case.
Right here, exactly. You see the 12, Michael Thwaites, fresh tires, just gets loose off of turn 4, gets it corrected, overcorrects it, loses it into the grass, and he's going to keep it off of the wall, the inside wall, but that will be enough to bring out our caution here for tonight's race. I do believe caution number 3. So 8 cars currently on the lead lap. They're all going to have to come down pit lane, and GT Hawkins is going to lead them down.
Now, here's the twist side of that, and you brought it up. These guys that were some of the first takers on the pit road, they've already been out there now 7, 8 laps before this caution flag came out. That's a lot on these tires, and I believe we only have, 3 sets of tires for the duration of this event, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So you average about 38 laps of set of tires. Most of these guys, this will be their second pit stop, so using the second of their 3 extra tires. So 50 laps to go, just under 50 laps to go, and everybody's only got 1 more set of tires. So you can't really just go out there and abuse these. That could be what you finish your race with, or you could have another restart and need that last set of general tires.
Yeah, that certainly got sketchy there on pit road exit between the 18 and 67, didn't it?
Well, that's why we got a camera right here. This is some of the best views we can get.
Yeah. We're sitting here talking about tire wear, and they're having their own battle of Game of Thrones out there on pit road.
All right, we do have less than 50 laps to go. I am very adamant in never bringing out or never bringing in for interview anybody still on the lead lap in contention and what could be the final restart. Let's find we can do Brian Dixon or Michael Thwaites. Which would you like, Matt?
Let's go with Michael.
All
Well,
right.
let's dial him up, see how he's doing.
So let's see. Hey, Michael, this is Angel and Matt in the SRN broadcast booth. You got us, buddy?
I got you, man.
Well, decided to jump on and kind of get a little bit of an insight there. I mean, it looks like you just got loose there. Is it just the cold tires, or just kind of came out from under you?
Yeah. Yep. Ran out of talent.
Well, definitely an unfortunate situation, Michael, but not the worst thing. I think. Well, how many laps does this put you down? I think
I'm 2 laps
two
down. I think.
laps down. So I mean, cautions be cautions. You never know what could happen. Michael, overall though, how's this race been going? I mean, we've seen just a lot of green flag runs and everybody taking care of their equipment, but the tires themselves seem to be suffering.
I mean, it's fine for me. Without me making mistakes, it would be good.
All right.
I'm enjoying it. Other than that.
Well, we do appreciate it, Michael. We hate to have to bring you in after a disappointing moment, but I'm a firm believer in not bringing in somebody who's currently on the lead lap at the very least, just for broadcaster reasons.
I gotcha.
So, aside from that, man, good luck, and hopefully we get to see you back here in the lead lap battling for a win.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You know what? You hear it in his voice, and how could you not as a driver, right? Regardless of what he said on the radio, and of course, you're in the moment, you're going to be a little short. But that driver is working his tail off in that race car. All these guys out there are right now. When you come off a pit road on 4 fresh tires, something that's supposed to be a positive, and you make up, I don't want to say a rookie mistake, but sometimes you overlook it because the race is so technical, you're going to be upset with yourself. But you know what? He's still got time to get up there. We've seen cautions throughout the course of tonight. He's definitely not out of it by any means.
Without a doubt. I mean, you definitely never know what can happen. You now have 10 cars currently on the lead lap. Shane Wolf is going to get the luck or use the wave around. He has actually not pit since lap 50. He's going to have to pit soon. I can't imagine how much longer he can go. I'm sure he's just, throwing strategy to the wind here and hoping for a quick caution here. As pace car is getting ready to come down. Lights are off. Matt, take us away for this restart.
All right, that iRacing.com Ford Mustang's going to turn that hard left down pit road. Here we go one more time as we hit that Garco restart zone. GT Hawkins hits the send it button as they fire off down the front straightaway. GT Hawkins, he knows how to restart. He's showcasing that ability here tonight as he solidly in command as we go through turns.
Oh, the 43 sideways fall. The 5 nowhere to go. The 12 nowhere to go. Oh, my goodness. We have a 3-car wreck. And it's going to be big for, at the very least, the 12 4-car wreck. I see the 25, I believe, is also around.
I don't want to sound like a robot, but cold tires hold tires. Cold tires and restarts, for whatever reason, this ARCA car, it's more of a challenge than other cars. And I know this from experience because I spent a lot of time in this ARCA car. It's so tire sensitive and it's so aero sensitive, especially on restarts. And when you're racing that hard, as good as you are, a little bit of air gets pulled off your spoiler. That tire is not up to temperature. And unfortunately, a catastrophic event unfolded on the racetrack. That's going to have some major implications for some of these competitors right now, Angel.
Well, we're going to see actually right here, there's actually contact for the 43. It looks like he was going to try to slide maybe in front of the 69. Not enough room. 67 makes it through the 5. Oh, 25 lost it trying to just save it off the turn. I don't know if he got damaged from that. Heavy damage for a lot of these guys there in what looked like just a racing incident really to start.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like he tried to maybe take the signature Dell Jr. slide job. Maybe saw a little crack of daylight there for a minute. And when he got there, that hole wasn't there. And just a racing incident, like you said, it's a restart. You got to get those positions when they're available, and a restart's a great way to capitalize. And as much as you hate it, that's just the byproduct of good racing.
I'll tell you this much. That's exactly what the 1 car of Shane Wolf needed. He
Yes.
needed a caution to come out almost immediately for his wave around to work out for him. All those guys who took a wave around, it worked out for them. A lot of them had already pitted, so they had the opportunity to take the wave around. The one had yet to pit. He took a big gamble there, or else he would have had to pit under green flag conditions, essentially completely removing him from the race from that point on. So a big break there for the one who needed it after getting an unlucky break earlier in this race.
I'll tell you what, I can't even win $1 buying a scratch-off ticket, and some of these guys just won the iRacing Mega Millions out there tonight.
Oh, tell me about it.
In case of the one, which, you know what, that's off to him. That strategy worked out. But, you know, if I was on top of that pit box, I would have got that wrong, because I would not anticipate a caution as before all the competitors got across barely the finish line.
Yeah, you see, we should see the lights go off here on the pace car as they get ready to cross the line to complete lap 115. We are going to have 40 laps to go here. Oh, no, lights are not off. Okay, never mind. We still have one more lap to go. Usually by now we've had this one done. So yeah, I have 39 laps to go.
Yeah, I was with you. I thought we were going to get one to go there. The lights were going to go out, but that's not the case. Maybe race control decided to add an extra lap on there just to make sure they have everyone lined up properly. We see that from time to time.
Right now, oh, go on ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, just interested to see right now how that damage on those race cars is going to affect the handling of these vehicles. You hate to see it. You know, all these guys work so hard tonight. But sometimes this ARCA car will surprise you. It's a little stronger than what you think it is. There's been plenty of times I've tore that nose up, and I've still been able to go out there and put it in the top 5. It's going to have to wait and see, but I still have hope. I don't think some of these guys are hurt as bad as they think.
Yeah, hopefully some of them should be pretty fine to keep on going. Right there you go. Now we see the lights go off. We see these guys double it up here side by side. GT Hawkins, once again, he finished 6th in last week's race, having led 2 laps in that Atlanta race. He's out to his outside is Justin Adesagok in that number 88 Exalta Camry. Goodness, still gonna be hard to say that. He also got the chance to lead 2 laps last week, but he finished in the 3rd position, having started on pole tonight. He was looking pretty good, but man, GT Hawkins has just dominated tonight's race. A lot to go still. A lot can happen over the final 40 laps or so. Remember, where these guys aren't going to be... You still got a lot to save, but not... you don't have 50 laps to race at least.
Yeah, GT Hawkins, he is FAST fast, and he's got the GT rendition of that Impala underneath him tonight, because that car is bad. As we go ahead, bam, back on the loud pedal again. Another masterful restart by GT Hawkins. He's just able to get that car to shoot out of a cannon. Incredible the jump he gets on the field. As we go back throughout the top 5, top 3 cars, they are in no harm of any time. But hey, the Hornet's Nest is alive and well between the 4th and 7th position. 3 by 3, 3 wide as we go across the start and finish line. That's where the action is right now, Angel.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know what that I can't see. Is this the 22 of Clayton Hack? Oh, they're wrecking big time there. Oh, big time wreck. Hold on, everybody. We're going to show you a fantastic move that he had just pulled off, but we're going to have to hold off on that. Oh, the 20. I'm sorry, this is the 24 of Greg Carr.
Someone stole the French fries out of his adult Happy Meal on that deal, man. Ooh. That was a big impact in the back there.
He's already sideways by the time we jump to this view. He looks like he's under the 5 here of Ed Morris Sr. He was involved in that last incident. We'll jump on our chopper view and try to get an idea as to what happened. 25 goes low. I think the 25 just slid up, and the 5 was there. 69 involved in that. So, yeah, I have to say, I don't. 5 was there. Don't know what more he could have done.
No, it's just again, it's just one of those racing deals. It's a restart. These drivers know they have to, if they want to gain spots, they got to get it on those restarts. Well, everyone's bunched together. It's really hard to pass on this track because the way the tire situation is, you need to run a laser cut line around this racetrack. And sometimes that car in front of you, you can catch him, but getting around him, having to change your life really upsets, or have to change your line really upsets that race car. And that's why I think you're seeing such hard racing on these restarts.
I'm going to try to see if this is the view that I think it was. Perfect. Let me double check. I know I'm rewinding this. I shouldn't rewind, but he had a great view as I'm going to go on board here. He's got a big run on the outside. Oh, yeah, right here. He just sticks it.
Wow.
Smacking the wall. And you know what's insane about that? I'm going to rewind this for one reason in specific. This is the lap before the caution. That is the 5. And that is the 25. The two cars just involved in that wreck that brought out the caution one lap later. So that move right there for Clayton Hack, currently the first car marked one lap down, could be the reason he makes it to the end of this race, possibly with a top 10.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's funny how sometimes racing becomes a game of inches, if you will. You would never think it, going 170, 80 miles an hour. But like you said, that move right there may have been his power move to put him inside the top 5 at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I think at this point, right now, we have about 30. We'll have 33 laps to go once we come across the line here, completing lap 122, the 155 on schedule. We do have Rick Christensen and that number 19 coming down from the 12th position, not currently on the lead lap. I think this should be 2 to green here, so we'll be restarting on lap 124. So about 32 laps to go from there. So far, what you've seen in this race, what can you expect? I mean, we had long green flag runs, a couple of cautions back to back here. I feel like this is the moment where we kind of go green for the rest of the time. Everybody just kind of calms down, and then boom, we're green for the rest of the race.
I'm hoping that's the case. Now, remember, this is the first time I've had a chance to actually get a hands-on bird's eye view of this great racing series. I love what I've seen so far. They're not afraid to mix it up. They're not afraid to go out there and try to get the job done. But typically, cautions breed caution. So while I hope that this race runs caution 3 through the end, I'm just thinking all these restarts, these laps keep winding down. I think that intensity is going to keep coming up, and I think we're going to see a couple more cautions. But again, I don't have the seat time with this series. I could be completely wrong, and I hope I am.
Well, no, generally we don't. And again, as you said, you've seen just these big green flag runs we've had to make this racing so good as these guys really start slipping and sliding. And you know us, the drivers love that too. Drivers want to be up on the wheel in these things, really making it drive for themselves. We did see that Robert Doyen was on our YouTube rooting on Bobby, who's currently in the 3rd position, our biggest mover of the race, up 15 spots from his 18th starting position. And then big props to James Shanewolf. Look at this, one caution to go. He was just getting his lucky dog back, and here it is, green flag racing once again. GT Hawkins on the inside. Big jump for him on Justin Adesagog. Justin doesn't get a very good jump. The 67 does. Now 67 is going to have to let the 88 clear in front of him. It'll be a side-by-side battle for 3rd.
That's right, side-by-side battle for 3rd as these guys are rumbling right now down the backstretch. Check out the 88 of Justin Azok. I know I probably butchered that. I apologize.
Adesagog. Well, it took me a little bit to learn it.
Okay. We're just going to call him Justin Adesok for right now for all intents and purposes. Make it easy on me. I apologize for that. But the main reason why I want to point that 88 car out, That man is on the attack right now. Did you see how aggressively he dove that car into the corner? He didn't get the spot, but that's going to get in the one car's head.
Caution's out.
Caution flag comes out again.
As GT Hawkins put down his fastest lap and the fastest lap of the day that time around, a 23:46. Unreal. Let's see if we can try.
Remember that song? Remember that song back in the day, "Walk It Out"?
Yes.
That's what he was doing with the back end of that race car. He was walking it out, but that goes to show you, stepping that car out. I mean, it's fast. Like you said, fastest lap of the race. Well done.
Oh, this is a battle for fourth. The 18 of Dean Gagliano on the inside of the 67. 67 is going to get loose and just collects the 18. Nowhere for him to go. Massive damage for a ton of drivers here. Oh my goodness. It's almost a big one there. The 18 just wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, he just straight lost it, unfortunately. And again, I mean, these guys, I don't see how they could escalate the level of intensity anymore. These guys have these cars on the absolute edge right now. And you try to get just a little bit deeper in the corner, maybe he just straight lost it. But you know what? I don't mind that, because that shows me that guy's trying to do everything he can to get that position and win that race. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Oh, not at all. Puts on a show for us. We get to enjoy it at least. Right. So
now, if I'm the guy that got howitzed in the process, yeah, I'm not going to be happy right now. But for all the guys showing us love on YouTube tonight, supporting your favorite drivers, if you're new to SRM, we guys got you covered on Sim Action Racing 7 days a week. So smash that like button, ring that bell, trust SRM for all your online racing action. Come on home with us each night. We are live.
Absolutely loving it. As you mentioned, we're racing here. We're broadcasting races 6 nights of the week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And sometimes, like tonight, triple header. We got, I think we have 4 tomorrow. On occasion, we have 5 on Tuesdays. We're fully booked on Tuesdays right now.
You got the schedule down pat. You are right. We got a lot of races coming up.
Yeah, no, a ton of races that go on a weekly basis here. So really never any sort of action, and all types of cars. You see here we got the ARCA cars, quite a couple of the next gen leagues. Love watching those. Those things are a ton of fun to drive, and really just to watch these guys really wheel those things and have a ton of fun with them as well. We got a ton of things. We got some dirt racing, if I'm not mistaken. We got some super speedway racing on Friday nights. Got all types of things mixed in around here.
Yeah, I mean, we got just, hey, if it races, we got it, pretty much. Doesn't matter if it's asphalt. Want road course action? Check mark, we got that too. And there's a good chance you might hear that man Angel calling it right there as well. So, hey, man, it's been a lot of fun up here so far. The very first time I worked with you was my very first race. I don't know if you remember back. That was a 3-man booth, and we almost blew the windows off that sucker.
That was a good one. That was I had taken a little bit of a break from broadcasting for some of the summer months, just trying to get things settled in here, and it that was my first one back for a few months, and man, that was a blast to do. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. Knocked off some rust, but it was fun. Yeah,
that night race at Daytona, that was a good time. I mean, that kind of set the bar for me. Like, okay, this is how it's gonna be moving forward. So you were definitely with me on my first race, and glad we got to circle back here again at a 1.5-mile track like Iowa. Having a great time tonight.
Oh goodness, a ton of fun. Enjoying the track again. Like I said, I enjoy this track when I'm broadcasting. Definitely not when I'm racing it. I just don't like it. We'll have a new face here, starting on the outside of the front row of GT Hawkins. It's James Shaneworth. He is making his money's worth for the breaks that he has gotten, whether they were bad at first, but the good last couple ones he's had. He's the one who put a big dive bomb on that 88 of Justin Anasagok to get that second position. Justin maybe a little more relieved not to have to be starting on the outside of the front row, because there's just no grip on that outside.
Well, hey, I'm curious to see what that Wolf has for that Hawk on that front row. So certainly we're going to make the change up front just a little bit. I'm liking the paint scheme on that car too. That racing yellow and that purple. That's looking kind of good meshing together. Let's see what kind of speed he's got with some clean air out on the front row.
Once again,
ahead,
brought to you
take it,
by
Angel.
the Elite Entertainment bringing to you this ARCA series. I'm just trying to think right now. We are coming down here now less than 30 laps to go, coming down to about 20. We're about 24 laps to go here. GT Hawkins, the big jump there off of turn number 2. He is gone. James Shane Wolf is going to hold on to second. Justin Anasagok in third. From there on out, it's a battle. Wesley Jeanette and Randy Kruger for fourth right now.
Yeah, currently right now we are single file through the top 5. GT Hawkins made a statement move right there. He said, hey, you're going to have to do something different if you're going to want to dethrone me on these restarts. But hey, how about that one car right now? He's actually maintaining right in close tracks to that 14 right now, which is very impressive. That 88 has been concreted in that third position right now tonight. But hey, there's nothing wrong. You still got a podium finish there. You just hold on and hang out right there. Not a lot of racing in the top 3 right now. They are single file. But where it starts to get interesting, check out the 74 of Wesley Jeanette. Started in the 10th position, currently up to 4th. This is where that Hornet's net starts to brew. These guys are not single file. Everyone's peeking their nose inside, looking for some daylight, see if they can get someone to slip. But how many times have we seen it when you start to transition that car, cut it down to the bottom ahead of time, that back end takes off, and things go bad in a hurry. So hopefully these drivers can be a little more smart about their passing. Can't even talk right now. There's so much action going on the race. Angel, I'm fired up too, man. I'm having a great time.
Man,
Let's go.
This is a ton of fun. Just a couple laps ago, your entire top 6 all ran their fastest laps of the day, and they were all within, I think, just, let's see, your top 5, I'm sorry. They were all within half a tenth of each other on the same lap. These guys are just driving the wheels off this thing, trying to catch GT Hawkins. JT just still had the fastest lap at that time, a 23:44, but 1/100th quicker than James Shane was, who now might be under attack by Justin Anasagok.
Yeah, Anasagok is definitely putting him going on the offensive right now, putting him on alert. Gonna try to get him driving out that rear view mirror a little bit and have him make a mistake on corner entry. And I guarantee you, the moment he sees just a fraction of daylight, he is gonna take it, because we are winding down these laps quickly. These guys are just setting a blistering pace right now, as I can literally taste the rubber in my mouth as it's flying off these guys.
Well, these are the things that these sponsors are paying for. You've been seeing the sponsor logos on the bottom left screen so far. Of course, Elite Entertainment being the title sponsor. The secondary sponsor is Agentix, and I'm probably messing that one up too, but Agentix Racing. They're the ones who built these setups. So these are the guys. This is a fixed setup race, but a customized fixed setup, and you can tell these drivers are loving it. I might need to get a setup, man. This actually looks like fun, and I'm saying that for Iowa. And then, of course, the graphic designer for the series, Transcendent Design. So big appreciation to them, and Extreme Scoring, of course, hosting these guys and our Tuesday night Rick Motep Cup Series. 15 laps to go, almost here, and we still got a tight one up front.
Yeah, it certainly is a tight packing up front. They just haven't been able to run away from GT Hawkins like they have been the previous restarts we've seen. But that's indicative, I bet, of all these restarts that we've had. He hasn't been able to go ahead and just open up that gap consistently lap after lap. And as we burn these tires off, keeping these cars in a groove, I think that's the difference right now. We just haven't had the consistency of these long flag runs that have let GT Hawkins just walk away from the field. I mean, the top 4. Let me take that a step back. The top 3 is still with inside 1 second of each other. We haven't seen that very often at all tonight. Even going back to the 9th place car, only 5 seconds off the pace. The last car on the lead lap right now, and that's going to be the 67 of Bobby Doyen.
Well, you know what, and you're talking about, you know, just how everybody's driving right now. I mean, with 13 laps to go, I assume generally everybody probably has still at least 1 or 2 sets of tires left. So, but at what point, how late is too late to put on a fresh set of feel goods?
Well, that's the $1 million question, right? Typically, that's the who's who game, if you will. Who's going to take the bait and come down pit road and take the tires? And are you just happen to be in the right spot on the racetrack where those fresh tires carry you to the front? We've seen it go both ways, right? But I'll tell you what, if the caution comes out right now, if I'm in the 5th place on back, I'm going to come down pit road and I'm going to put 4 tires on. And hopefully if they see you commit to that, everyone behind you follows suit. You definitely don't want to pit from 5th and have everyone just train right by you, because then you're coming out in last place. That's a whole different ballgame.
I just was so... yeah, I think a caution would have to come out now or in the next lap or two. There's only 9 cars in the lead lap, but I think especially with a lack of fast repair, just the chance of being involved in a big one with 2 to go or something like that. Yeah, I'd say 4th, maybe 5th. Yeah, I'll stay up, but everybody else would come on in. It's same thing. You're sitting, in that catbird seat. What's gonna happen to you? Everybody's gonna do the opposite of the leaders.
Right. So, and that's, and if you're 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position right now, you have to do something different than these guys up front if you want a realistic shot to win. So you're 100% right. I could not agree with you more. If, whatever, we've seen this happen to Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson so many times. They spent countless hours working on a strategy, and it comes down literally to 5 seconds. Hey, Jimmy, pit now. Everyone else stays out, and you just ruin your entire day. So a lot of times you got to have lady luck on your side. But you know what? I want to see a caution come out. I want to see how this plays out. I want to see what strategy wins here, just to keep it interesting. Not that there's anything shy of any hard, extreme racing action on the racetrack. We've talked about this so much. I want to see how this plays out.
Yep, absolutely. I'll give credit. I don't think that drivers like this get enough credit who have been trying their hardest since the very beginning. We saw Corey Darr in the number 45 involved in an early incident, and he was, because of that, put down quite a few laps.
Look at the dive. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You gotta see this dive bomb clinic. Oh my God. And he made it stick. Who is that on the inside just eating all the cookies? The 33.
Oh, Brian Dixon. Yeah, he's got, if not mistaken, he's got maybe some of the freshest tires of all these drivers, having pit on lap 128. So he's got the ability to 4 laps to go now, as these guys are 3 wide battling it out. And you see there Clayton Hack, that driver that I mentioned earlier, his opportunity to get a top 10 was by putting himself 3 wide earlier on the outside with those 2 guys that would end up wrecking 1 lap later. Wow, these guys are having fun over here.
They're definitely having fun. And I didn't mean to cut you off there, but when I seen that car step
no, that is great.
Like that, when I seen that car step out of line like that, I instantly I was cringing. My fists were clenched. I thought, there's no way. And he made it stick. That was incredible.
Man, they just put on some great racing in that sense, man. You just love the way these guys are willing to fight. You see Wesley Jeanette and Sean Corcoran fighting hard with each other. Randy Cruder not far behind them. We got now 2 laps to go for GT Hawkins. I mentioned earlier about Corey Darr. You see him 24 laps down, kind of almost since the beginning of this race. In staying out this entire race, man, he's gone from 19th to 15th. May not seem like much, but those four positions could matter by the end of the season.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, and in Racing 101, they always teach you every position matters. Don't leave anything on the racetrack if you can go out there and get it smartly. And the key word is being smart. Race the racetrack, don't race yourself. But how about guys in the 5th, 6th, and 7th position? They are formational racing right now. They're not in this.
GT Hawkins will come around first. James Shane Wolf in second. And here they are, sideways, 3 wide almost. 4th, you're right. Randy Kruder's going to take it from them. Wesley Jeanette will take home 6th there. So GT Hawkins, as mentioned, he'll come across, dominates the race today, finishing in 1st. James Shane Wolf with some great luck here towards the end, going to make it to 2nd. Your pole sitter, Justin Anasagok, in 3rd, kind of ran top 3 basically the whole race. Sean Corker with a great battle there. He's going to finish in 4th. Randy Kruder in 5th. Wesley Jeanette in 6th. Man, what great racing for a lot of these guys. We'd like to go through the rest of the field, but we got some guys putting out quite the burnout right here in the front stretch.
Yeah, that is burning down the house, and rightfully so. He earned that. What a statement win. The Hawk is boss at Iowa. That was textbook.
We're going to go ahead now and bring up your 3rd place finisher of Justin Anasagok. So hold on just a moment, everybody, so we can bring him on in. Let's see. Let's got to find him. Was your pole sitter earlier today? He even said he wasn't even sure where they were racing at tonight. So, man, this is just not letting me. Hold on, everybody.
Hey, no practice, no laps, no problem.
Absolutely. All right, Justin, sorry to play come with the musical chairs, but for some reason this thing would not let me bring you all the way up. So, man, fantastic race, I have to say. You're going to come home with a 3rd place finisher after starting on pole. I'd say not a bad day for someone who didn't know where they were racing until they loaded in.
Honestly, that was the first time being at that track too in those cars. So I'll take a 3rd, nice, quiet, clean race over those 2 guys. Those guys were fast, man. It's like I was watching the 14's bumper just slowly go away, and he's gone. So shout out to him on the win, and Shane Wolf coming back from, I think, 2 laps down, either a lap or 2 laps down to finish 2nd.
Yeah, he got a big, well, he didn't get a break to start when he got put back there, but deciding to be the only person having not pitted over 50-something laps. I mean, he needed a caution almost immediately, and he got one right when he needed to take that wave around. So, yeah, big moment for him to make that up. Justin, like I said, great race. Go ahead, and I'm sure you got a couple people you like to shout out, so you can go ahead and enjoy another podium.
Everybody that raced tonight, you guys that broadcasted, again, Shane Wolf and GT on the win and coming back and finishing 2nd. So it was a great night.
Well, I know GT may have dominated tonight's race. We'll have to see where that leaves you guys in a points bind. 1st place might be looking a little crowded up there after back-to-back 3rd place finishes for you. So congratulations again, Justin, and we'll go ahead and let you celebrate. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, hang on, everybody. We just got to bring them back down there. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring in our 2nd place finisher over here. That will be Mr. James Shane Wolf. Let's see if we can find him down here. Oh, there he is. He's actually waiting for us. Couldn't find you, James. You're already here. This is Angel and Matt Medler in the SRM broadcast booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. I was watching some stuff back.
Oh, no worries at all. James, what a fantastic comeback there. And Justin giving you a shout out. Were you 2 laps down? I can't remember if you were 2 laps down or just 1 lap down.
I was 2, unfortunately. I thought I was 1, and then I got the wave around and was still a lap down, so I must have been 2.
Well, I mean, yeah, you had a big risky move there. I mean, you hadn't pit since lap 50. That was a good, I think, almost 60-something laps on fuel and tires as a whole. I mean, you needed a caution almost immediately for that to work out, or else your day would have been over having to pit under green. And boy, a caution came out almost immediately. What jubilation did you have?
Oh man, I was so happy. I was debating whether or not I should just pit and take tires. Then I was like, no, I'm gonna stay out. My teammate Wesley, he was telling me, he was like, caution breeds cautions, man. He was like, you're bound to get another one, and it talked me into it basically, because I was gonna pit, and like I said, he talked me into it, kept me cool while we went back green because I was getting a little worried. Him and Clayton both. So shout out to them guys, man. I can be a lot to handle in a voice chat. Those guys help me get through it.
James, I think I know exactly how you feel. I can speak the same for myself and my own teammates in dealing with me. I think Jeanette might regret it. He'll finish 6th. He might have got a top 5 if he hadn't convinced you.
Yeah.
But congratulations nonetheless, buddy. And I mean, man, that was just a good overall race. So next week we'll head to the Milwaukee Mile. What can you expect from there? And is that a track that maybe you're looking forward to or not?
I love that place. I've never ran it in these cars, but it's a track that I'm comfortable on. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going from tonight and carry it on to next week, and hopefully that'll result in a top 5. This is what I'm hoping for. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can get that out of it.
Well, an 8th place finish last week, a 2nd place finish this week. Definitely trending in the right direction, James. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, real quick.
I'm so sorry. Yes, go ahead, please.
Gotta give a big shout out to Top Tier Race Control. If there's anybody watching this race and they run a league or are part of a league and you guys need a race director, man, get with those guys. Jaden at Top Tier, he awesome guy. He usually runs with us, but he runs Top Tier Race Control, man. They have great rates. They make it way easier on a league owner. One less thing to stress about. It's definitely worth looking into. Shout out to Adam Capps at Elite Entertainment for not only sponsoring the series, but I work for him. He's my boss. So shout out to him for paying my bills each week.
Oh, yeah, that's a big shout out right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Clayton Hack, Wesley Jeanette, my teammates, man, those guys they're a fun group of guys to hang out with. You guys up here in the broadcast booth, Ed Morris for bringing the series back. I know he had some help with it. Everybody else that helps. Matt Knight for being the admin for tonight as well, for the season actually, but shout out to him for taking the time out of his day. And you know, it's awesome to have this series back in Extreme, and it's awesome to be back in Extreme, man. So thank you to everybody that was a part of it. I'm happy to be here.
Angel, real quick, I want to jump in. James, that was one heck of a performance tonight, man. This is my first time having a chance to watch you guys and call your racing. And what you did out there tonight, man, I know you probably wanted one more spot, but you were hauling and just laying it down on that racetrack tonight, man. Good job, man. Dude, that was so fun for me to watch. You go out there and just keep taking positions away from guys. You must have passed probably 60 cars tonight.
Yeah, I think they said something about that last week during the broadcast too, about the amount of cars I passed. Hopefully one of these weeks I can get my crap together and I'll be able to stay up front and not have to work so hard to finish up front.
If that's you not having your crap together, this field's in trouble if you do.
I appreciate that, buddy.
Congratulations, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, that would be your 3rd place finisher here, James Shane Wolf. We're going to go ahead and bring in your victor tonight. And Matt, I'll let you have this one.
Victor, Matt Metler up in the booth. You got me.
I got you. How's it going?
It's going great. You guys put on a clinic for everyone watching this race tonight, and especially from our point of view up here in the broadcast booth. Certainly, you probably wanted a couple more spots, but man, you overcame some of your own adversity tonight. Talk to me about this race car and this racetrack. It looked like the car liked to be hung out on the edge a little bit, but if you were able to hang it out there, you could, consistently run some fast lap times. Is that kind of how what you felt over the course of the run tonight?
I thought the setup was great. My tire wear was really even on the right side, so I felt like it was pretty well balanced. It was a lot of fun, though. I mean, if you were just trying to drive through the fronts on entry and center, you'd wear the right front, and if you tried to get on it too early, you'd wear the right rear, and it would build looser over the run. But I was just, you could stomp on it in the center of the turn, and it would rotate a bit and drive it off the right rear, and it would stick. So that was, yeah, that's an ideal setup to me, I think.
And that's exactly why I asked you. I could not agree more. I personally love that ARCA car. I like how it drives. I think it's really underrated. And it's great to see this series showcase that car tonight on a track like Iowa. That racing was nothing short of spectacular tonight. So next week, you guys go to Milwaukee. Do you like that track? What's your plan of attack moving forward next week?
I don't think I've ever drove it. I'm not even positive I own that track. So, I mean, it's a legendary track. So I think it's really cool that it's on the schedule, and we got a handful of tracks like that, like Rockingham and stuff. So I'm excited to run it and do a little practice and learn it.
Absolutely. Nice to see some of these older, forgotten about tracks coming back into the sport. A little side note there. Anyone you want to thank? I know you got a lot of men and women behind the scenes that do a lot of work to make this all possible.
Yeah, I got to thank my teammates, GT Motorsports, Glory Pole Company, everybody at Extreme for putting this on. You guys for broadcasting, appreciate you, and all my friends and family out there watching. Thanks.
There you go, guys. Straight from the wheel man himself tonight. He was up there. He was very technical racetrack tonight. He was working the gas, brake, the wheel all night tonight. He was letting nothing out on the edge. We appreciate you coming up here in the booth. Congratulations on a great run this evening, and wish you all the best next week at Milwaukee. Unfortunately, I won't be here to see this racing action. Your normal guy will be back up in the booth. Angel, thanks for having me up here with you, man. It was a lot of fun. Certainly overachieved. I had no idea what I was walking into, but that was one heck of a race, and it flew by.
Yeah, a blast it was. We're going to go ahead and go through our race results here very quickly. We just finished talking with GT Hawkins there in first, James Shane Wolf in second, Justin Anasagako, as we mentioned before, back-to-back third place finishes to start off the season and the pole tonight, so good start for him. Sean Corcoran in fourth, Randy Kruder in fifth, Wesley Jeanette in sixth, Brian Dixon recovers for his seventh place finish, Bobby Doyle in eighth, Greg Carr in ninth, and Clay Hack will finish out your top 10.
That's right. Those are your top 10 finishers, and only 9 drivers finished on the lead lap tonight. Just showing you at certain times how technical this racetrack was tonight. Big handful for some of these drivers, but hey, it definitely produced one heck of a racing product out there on the racetrack. Picking up where Angel left off in 11th position tonight, the 19 of Rick Christensen. 12th position belongs to Jeremy Horn. 13th, you guessed it, that's going to belong to the 12 machine of Michael. We're just going to call him Michael for right now. I don't want to butcher
Michael
that.
Thwaites. No problem.
I didn't want to butcher that man's last name. 14th, Ed Morris Sr. He was involved in some trouble early, but you know what? Shout out to him for sticking with it and running that race out tonight. Certainly picked up a couple spots, and that could help him later on as we get down to the end here. As we get back to the field here, 15th, it's going to be Corey Dare. 16th, Michael Larch. 17th, Dean Galano. 18th position, that's going to be Alexander Brown. 19th tonight, Adam Capps. And your 20th and final finisher this evening, the 11 of William Hartman.
Well, thank you, everybody. Once again, it was a fantastic race. We'll have to, of course, one more time thank our fantastic sponsors here for the Extreme Motorsports Leagues. Of course, Elite Entertainment being the title sponsor. Big shout out to, and even our winner in tonight's race, GT Hawkins, shouting out the setup that they had here for tonight. Not an iRacing stock setup, was done by Agentix Racing. And then, of course, Transcendent Designs doing, of course, their logos, graphic designer, all the things they need. So once again, here from Sim Racing Media Network, for Matt Metler and myself here, Angel Santiago, we thank you, everybody, and we hope you all have a fantastic evening. All right, we're all set.